Good afternoon. Thank you for being here today. I would like to introduce our speakers for this session, Ecosystem to Retool, Reinvent, and Renew. The following speakers will be sharing the Nuevo León Industry Strategy 4.0 model, an ecosystem created between government, industry, academic institutions, investors, and entrepreneurs. Our first speaker, Jeronimo Garcia de Brahi, brings more than 20 years of experience in the steel, automobile, and manufacturing industry. He's currently managing director and partner of AMBE Engineering, an on-site advisory and service firm focused on operations for the manufacturing industry. AMBE Engineering was nominated by the Michigan Minority Supplier Council as the Corporate Group Initiative. Jeronimo Garcia de Brahi is also a leader for the Nuevo León 4.0. The following speaker, Abraham Tijerina Priego, is the coordinator of the State of Nuevo León Industry 4.0 strategy. Previously, Mr. Tijerina led the innovation management process at Metalsa, a leading global corporation for design, development, and manufacturing of automobile structural components. Mr. Tijerina has been responsible for launching engineering, technology, and innovation for the Metalsa technical centers, 2 in Mexico and 1 in the United States. Mr. Tijerina has served as member of the Technical Board of Mexico's National Technology Award Foundation, the Nano Technology Cluster, the Automobile Cluster in the Industrial Chamber in the state of Nuevo León. He also serves as the chairman of the International Organization in Intelligent Manufacturing System. Please help me welcome our speakers. Jeronimo?
Thank you very much, Lorena. We are going to start with an introduction about Nuevo León 4.0. Are you able to see our screen? And Abraham is going to start with the first part of the presentation. Thank you very much. And for us, for Nuevo León 4.0 and for AMBE, it's a pleasure to be here. Congratulations for the summit and looking forward to be part of similar initiatives. Thank you very much. You are in mute, Abraham, I think.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Lorena, for the introduction. Jeronimo. Yes, Nuevo León 4.0 initiative was put in place 3 years ago. And the reason for that was to make sure that Nuevo León is the place to be for Industry 4.0 in America. And Nuevo León, similar as Michigan, has a history of industrial history back to the 1800 and 1900 years. And then it wasn't clear that the leadership of Nuevo León in the industry under this Industry 4.0 technologies and pressure was going to be secure. So that's why this initiative was put together. So if we go to the next one, please. So it's an initiative that we said that is from the society for society. So that means it doesn't belong to the government, either to the industry, nor to the academia, but everybody is part of this initiative. So that's what it's make Nuevo León 4.0 relevant in our ecosystem. As mentioned before, Nuevo León has been leader in the industrial sector for the first industrial revolution, second industrial revolution, third industrial revolution, and wants to be the leader also in the fourth industrial revolution. So if we go to the next one, we can see that, and we saw that in the presentation early this morning from David, that the fourth industrial revolution is looking for self-adjusting, smart, flexible, and efficient processes. And the key word here is the digitalization. And this is an enormous pressure for Nuevo León, since these technologies are evolving too fast. and faster than the industry is able to assimilate them and to capitalize them. We'll go to the next. This is an example of, yes, this is an example of Nuevo León leadership in the previous revolutions. So in 1854, Nuevo León started with the first textile factory in the region, and that was moved by water. So the mills were next to the river, and the force of water was pushing the equipment and make it possible to produce textiles. And that was the same until the steam machine came, and then the factories could move away from the rivers. And in the second revolution, we experienced also a boom in the food and beverage industry. So taking advantage of electricity and mass production, we have some iconic factories here in Nuevo León, like the beer company, the steel mill company, and the Cemex company, just to put some samples. In the third industrial revolution, some of the companies that took advantage of the computer and automation were able also to go global, such as Metalsa, Frisa, Nimac, that are all three leaders, global leaders in their own sectors and products that they produce. But as you can see in 2025, the leadership is not clear. And I think it's the case for many regions, many nations, that who's going to be leading the fourth industrial revolution. So that's why the initiative is important, because we are working with the ecosystem to transform all those companies. Hopefully some of them will become leaders in this 2025 vision that we have. Nuevo León is still a place to be for Industry 4.0. We go to the next, please. This picture makes sense once you already saw the presentation this morning. We have picked 12 key technologies. I will not go in details in any of them, but the reason to put them here is because the effort that we are doing regarding to develop and put in place technological infrastructure, academic programs, and collaboration projects are related to these 12 technologies, and I will show some samples later in the presentation. We'll go to the next. It is important for the initiative to have some fundamentals, and we have very clear that the human being and the environment need to be in the center. So it doesn't matter if we are looking to be leaders if we don't care about the human being and the environment. We don't want the companies to be after profit without taking care of our resources, natural resources, the workers. So we look after the worker and not necessarily after the job. The job is going to disappear, some of them, some others will evolve or transform, and some new ones are going to be created. So we take care of the worker. We have very clear message, especially at the universities, to have a responsible use of the technology. So if you talk about artificial intelligence, you talk about biotechnology, if you don't have a very clear ethical view of the use of the technologies, you can be ended up doing a very wrong things with the technology. We look at the technological change as a mean, not as an end. So we don't ask companies just to go and automate without being that the best option for the companies. We are immersed in a collaborative ecosystem that you will see how the ecosystem is composed. And we ask for exponential action since we are under exponential technologies. So we go to the next. Our model, we are in a pentahelix model. Besides academia, industry, and government, we have a representation of entrepreneurs and investors for venture capitals, and so they support the entrepreneurship programs in Nuevo León. So we'll go to the next. This is a picture that represents who are part of the board and who are the strategic partners of Nuevo León 4.0. You can see here the 4 major universities, the deans of the universities are part of the board, 4 government departments part of the board, and some industries also in the center of the strategy. Nuevo León 4.0 is an industry-led government and academia support. And we have partnership with all the 13 strategic sectors in Nuevo León and some other key companies that are somehow linked to Nuevo León. We go to the next. And we have set some vision for 2025. And this is our roadmap. In this, we try to work and put a perspective how we see ourselves in 2025. We see that we are in a smart state, not only a smart city. Our economy is based on entrepreneurship, technology-based entrepreneurship. We have a vision for smart agro, tourism, health, and also working with this universal basic income with a purpose. So if at the end the technology is gonna replace people and no way to find a job for them, we are working on a solution that is gonna be partial help to this phenomenon that we might be facing later. If we go to the next, I think there is one more that I'd like to share. Yeah, this is the infrastructure. The initiative has worked with the ecosystem to make sure that innovation centers, labs, and formation areas are in place, such as this machine-to-machine machine learning center that was opened in November 2018. We have a museum that is inside of that museum. We have a learning center, Industry 4.0 Learning Center for young people. We just started the Artificial Intelligence Center in 2019. We are launching the Cybersecurity Center as we are speaking. And in coming this year, hopefully by the end of the year, giving shape to this Electromobility Center, Virtual Manufacturing and Design Center, and coming later, perhaps next year, Smart Health, Smart Tourism, Smart Agro, and Smart Cities as well. So we go to the next. And I think this is where I'm gonna give Jeronimo the opportunity to share his perspective, just to say that the way the initiative works is through these 15 actions, and each one of them has a leader. Jeronimo is one of the leaders, so he is going to be talking about some of these actions.
Thank you, Abraham. As Abraham mentioned, the idea of Nuevo León 4.0 is to generate a platform in order to foster the technology and innovation development in Nuevo León. All of us, all the people that are involved in the initiative, we are for free, and because we like to foster that development in Nuevo León in order to push and to continue helping the Nuevo León to continue being a reference in the Mexican market and also globally. The way that we find that is the most productive, to focus our efforts, as Abraham mentioned, to organize ourselves in different initiatives in order to focus the effort and to be able to be more productive and concrete in the action. We have right now 15 different initiatives that are the one that you are seeing in the screen. They go from communication to the techno award, and some of the awards that are given early on. The assessment, the roadmap that Abraham mentioned is a result of that self-assessment. We have an initiative that is in charge of communicating the success cases that are developing in the initiative. An ethical platform, something that is appealing and is becoming more and more a hot topic here, is ethics around technology. Also, other initiatives focusing working with the university in order to develop their lab 4.0. We have technical information. Then another initiative that we are trying to give a lot of empowerment right now, because we know that it's going to be a hot topic in the after coronavirus situation, is how to have small and medium companies related to technology and innovation to continue developing and also to survive from the post-coronavirus crisis. Then Mind 4.0, we are going to talk a little more about that initiative, and other initiatives that are related ending with a strategic alliance that is a way of connecting Nuevo 4.0 with other big institutions or big companies that will allow both of us to create an ecosystem and to continue growing. And that way of organizing ourselves allow us to convert this that Abraham already showed into this. That is a roadmap with concrete actions and with concrete things that we have done. We are not going to talk about all of them, but the idea was to show you what is the number and the different fields that Nuevo León 4.0 have opened, have already finished, that are currently ongoing, and that are part of the plan to convert that vision and that mission that Abraham shared about how we see Nuevo León and Nuevo León 4.0 in the 2025 as a reality. So these are part of the action, and the idea was to pick some of them that we consider are like flagship actions and things that result into success cases and to share with you today. So the idea is to go to some sample of these actions, and one of them is all of us were involved in this coronavirus crisis and how that changed all the environment and the reality for all the companies. So when coronavirus appears, Nuevo León 4.0 as a hub that was concentrating different players in the innovation ecosystem, launched this platform that you are seeing now in the screen, that is the COVID Nuevo León platform. And that platform allows different things. That platform allows companies or individuals that were looking to give some donation but targeting to support innovation to make that donation a reality. But something that also that platform allows is to make reality some projects that afterward became projects that give a lot of support to the government to fight coronavirus. Some of the examples of those projects is Metalsa jointly with FEMSA, jointly with Grupo Bocar and other companies. They develop a Mexican ventilator and that is has a mass production in one of Metalsa facilities and allow to increase the number of ventilators in the state and in the country. That is one of the projects that was born as part of this initiative. Other project is a company that produces some home appliance, reconvert the facility in order to produce face masks. That is Don Colchon. Other example is Heineken, the beer company, reconvert one of the facilities as part of one of the actions including in this platform to produce alcohol and sanitizing products. That's part of the action that this platform allows. Not all the initiatives then move forward under the umbrella of this platform. Some of the initiatives continue under the umbrella of the platform. Other initiatives make more sense to redirect those initiatives into some government program that were already in place. Because as Abraham mentioned, the idea of Nuevo León 4.0 is to add value, not to doubling effort. If we already know that there is some institution, some organization that is already making effort, focusing on some things, our idea is to redirect those innovation efforts into those institutions. And something that is the step, or was, or is currently step 2 of this coronavirus Nuevo León platform under Nuevo León 4.0 is all the technology developments made in Nuevo León that appear as a result of companies making proposals in this platform. In the screen right now, you are seeing some of the examples. The examples go from body temperature detection to how to adequate the layout of a facility in order to assure social distancing rules to be accomplished, some of how to map risky areas, how to reschedule or redo or adapt the procedures and the work environment under the new coronavirus requirement, etc., etc. All these solutions or technology solutions, Nuevo León 4.0 is trying to foster and to continue supporting their development with two things. One of them is helping them to continue developing them, but the other part of that is to making that available to the market and to communicate those solutions to the market. We are focusing those in those two things. The other initiative that we consider a flagship initiative of Nuevo León 4.0, and this initiative that already have its own life, we call it Mind 4.0. Mind 4.0 is basically giving a platform to technology scale-ups, companies that have innovative solutions around technology, giving them the platform to communicate and to pitch their solutions to big companies that we call tractors or drivers of this initiative, giving them the platform to communicate, to pitch them. So in that way, you link companies that have innovation and solutions with innovation, with companies that are looking at innovation to solve sometimes some old problems, but including technology in the solution. This is an annual initiative that is performed every year. This year was particularly hectic and different because this initiative takes place mainly in the first semester of the year. And when coronavirus appeared, we had the dilemma of continuing with the initiative or changing in some way. So we believe we continue with the initiative. We did a very important part of that initiative online, and the result was very, very good. We have several initiatives. We have over 100 technology pitch and over 40 pitch around coronavirus solutions. So in general, the result was excellent. You can see in the screen some of the big companies that we consider tractors. This is a screenshot of how all this pitch took place. So imagine almost 200 pitch taking place virtually. So this happened, and this led to big business opportunity and big development opportunity for technology scale-up. And the other initiative that we consider flagship, and we talk about that, is the strategic alliance that is Connect Nuevo León 4.0 with a big reference in the technology and in the industrial market in order to continue developing this strategic alliance in a sense that is valuable and add value for all of us to continue developing our actions. But also there we had a dilemma because the initial or the base objective of that initiative is to bring solutions to Nuevo León ecosystem, and we consider a supporter of Nuevo León 4.0. But and here you have a comparison when the before the coronavirus, the idea was to continue convincing and pitching Nuevo León as a hub to move production or development or activities for those companies. We know that is going to continue to be the case because Nuevo León was always a reference in order to allocate activity, and it's a big market. But we know that perhaps 2020 is a year where we need to be flexible and to readapt that strategy in a way that we continue adding value. So what we did with the coronavirus situation is we changed the scope of this initiative, at least for this year, in order to make it different. And instead of pitching Nuevo León, we pitch the solution of Nuevo León, and we take the solution of Nuevo León to the different market where we think they can add value. Why? Because we think that perhaps in this particular year, companies are not or will not take big decisions about investment or increasing activity, but perhaps they need to include cost-efficient solutions. And coronavirus show us, and Cynthia in the first part of this event explained that in a great way, that technology is a solution that at the end of the day brings efficiency, that at the end of the day brings money, and in this crisis cash is king. So we reconvert this initiative in a way that we bring these solutions to customers or to companies or to organizations or to environments that are looking for these solutions, because we are convinced that Nuevo León is a great hub in order to continue developing them. So what we did, we convert that. We are also aware that of our ecosystem, the companies that will need more support are the small and medium companies. So we are trying to focus this initiative in order to allow them to create this field of development to survive and to grow in this crisis management. Winston Churchill has a nice phrase, a nice quote that says, "Never waste a good crisis." In Nuevo León 4.0, we are convinced that we don't have to waste this crisis, and perhaps we have to be flexible and adaptable. That was always a characteristic of Nuevo León 4.0 in order to change, at least temporarily, the scope of our initiative in a way that we continue adding value and that we bring the right solutions at the right time. And we are convinced that at this moment, this is the way to proceed, helping our ecosystem and our members in order to continue developing, and also helping the market to find the solution that they are looking for in a cost-efficient way. So the idea was to share with you that Nuevo León 4.0, what is Nuevo León 4.0, and then Nuevo León 4.0, of course, had to change a little their strategy and the scope with the coronavirus situation, and we think that we are in the right path. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeronimo. Thank you, Abraham. I would like for you to let people know how they can contact you.
Okay, so I forgot to show that this is our reality day by day in Nuevo León 4.0. We try to bring solutions of technology, and sometimes companies say, don't bother, we are very busy doing things in the normal way, but we're trying to change that. And this is the way of people can contact us. You have there in the screen Abraham information and my information. Don't hesitate to send us an email, to call us, to send us a message, to connect with us in LinkedIn, etc., etc. We have different way of connect with us. The idea is Nuevo León 4.0 is not closing to Nuevo León, it's not close to Monterrey, it's not even close in Mexico. We have different initiatives that goes beyond Mexican border, and we're trying, that is part of where we are trying to continue developing. So we are totally open to continue growing in this strategic initiative, adding value to all of us, because at the end of the day, I will mention this industry 4.0 and this technology and innovation, that this is all about. This summit is all about technology and innovation. The best way to develop in an exponential way is to work together and to collaborate. And we are convinced about that. All of us are doing this because that's part of our philosophy, and it's part of give back to the society, part of what we receive. That is the philosophy of Nuevo León. We are going to be thrilled and very happy to work with any of you in this initiative.
Thank you so much for sharing with us today, and thank you all for attending our session. We're getting ready to move to the next session. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the invitation to the Michigan Minority and Detroit Business Development Center.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.